Don't let time fly before you start achieving your goals. That dreadful feeling of another month passing, another year, but you are not closer to your goals. No, not possible. Let's go back in time and see how to finally achieve them by the end of this video. Here's what makes this so frustrating. You already know what your goals are, unlike others who are still searching for a direction. You have the time to do them. Others don't have the time. They have 2 jobs, they have small kids, maybe they are even in vacation. But you have the time. You even have all the tools and resources to do them, but you still don't. It feels like something invisible is blocking you. And all of this while there's a big risk. The risk that the goal you are postponing is not even the goal you are supposed to do. So because of this, we need to accomplish it as fast as possible to find this now, not later. If we have the guilt and pain of procrastination, at least we have it for the right goal, not the wrong one. The longer you wait to find out, the more time you waste on potentially the wrong path. So let's identify what's really blocking you, because it may not be what you think. First, thinking that the problem will get solved by wishing or manifesting. This makes you wait for the problem to get solved by itself or for someone else to solve it. Spoiler alert, everybody's busy with their own problems, they won't solve yours. Instead of using your energy to wish it, use your energy to do it. By wishing or manifesting your goal, by definition, someone has to do the work to make it a reality. So if you are not the one who is doing the work, someone else has to do it. There is no other way in this universe. So unless you're a beggar who is waiting for the mercy of a hardworking person, do it. Unless you're a thief or a looter who steals or forces someone else to do his work for him, then do it. Unless you have the money to hire someone to willingly do it for you, which is the only way everybody wins and it frees you to do other things that need to get done, unless you have the budget to do it, do the task yourself. Don't wait for the universe to force someone else to do your work. Second, you're afraid that this is not the right goal and you postpone the bad news. But you need to find this as soon as possible, and the only way to find out is to do it. Not by asking 100 people if this is the right goal, watching 100 videos, researching 100 statistics. Basic logic is enough to know that this is not a foolish idea. Now do it to be sure it's not. In case it's stupid, you will find out for sure before everyone else. Why they still fantasize and visualize and meditate about it while doing nothing about it. And if it was the right thing, you will have the results faster. This problem becomes even bigger if you think that this goal is the answer to all of your problems, because you're even more afraid to find out that it's not and to look stupid pursuing it. During difficult times, you console yourself with the promise that this goal will solve everything. If you pursue it and it doesn't, all hope is gone. But the reality is that new and better ideas emerge only through action, not hesitation. Even if this isn't your perfect goal, the very act of pursuing it will reveal what your next goal should be, because you are discovering new problems to solve along the way. Another problem is that you're not convinced that the goal is worth pursuing. This is actually a good point. While pursuing this goal, you cannot pursue others. So you're not only losing time if it's not the right goal, but you also postpone working on the right one. But consider this simple math. If you don't try, your chances to succeed are 0%. That's for sure. If you do try, it's greater than 0. And here is a mindset shift that helps. View it as an experiment, because this takes the pressure off. If it fails, you have less guilt, because experiments are designed to test hypotheses. Everyone knows that experiments can fail. It's part of the process to succeed by learning from the trials and errors. Another problem is that you're waiting for the perfect time. You think that it will be easier if some other events happen first. If you know for sure that this is the case and there is no problem delaying it, then good, wait by doing something else in the meanwhile. But if it's not sure and it's not in your control, then it's just an excuse. Take it as a challenge. If you can do it now when conditions are far from perfect, imagine what you can do when they are. So treat the perfect timing just as a bonus, not as a requirement. You're grateful if it comes, but you don't need it. Another problem, the feeling trap. You don't feel like it. You remember how it feels to be in the zone, and now you're waiting for that inspiration to come again before starting, because you don't want to lose time forcing yourself. But here's the secret achievers know. The feeling comes after you start, not before. And I'll give you a trick. There is no feeling required to open the computer, no inspiration needed to open the software, and no motivation in putting your gym shoes. By doing these small steps, it means that you already started working on your goal. Assume that the feeling will come and continue anyway. If it comes, it's a bonus. Otherwise, you made great progress so far, which is better than waiting and doing nothing. Most of the times it's harder to stop than to continue, because just like a train already in motion, you already gain some momentum and it's harder to stop it.
What are you doing?
I can't stop. I cannot stop. Remember, there is no price for feeling it while achieving your goals. The only thing that matters is whether you achieve them or not. Your child's stomach doesn't get fed if you felt or didn't felt like cooking. Is there something on the plate or not? It makes no difference for the digestive system. But if there's nothing on the plate, then it does. Yes, you work faster while you're feeling it, while you are in the zone. But if the price is dreadful procrastination, then the price is not worth it at all. The time you win by doing it 10 or 50% faster is just a fraction of the time lost delaying it, feeling guilty, and rescheduling the task 10 times before you actually start working on it. The ambiguity trap. The goal is too ambiguous. If the next step is not clear, then the next step becomes to create the next step. Break down the goal until you know exactly what action to take next. Otherwise, you waste energy on random activities, hoping that somehow clarity will come or that someone else will tell you what to do, which, like we talked before, it won't happen. The completion fear. After you do all of this and you started working on it, maybe you're afraid to finish it. Why? Because finishing means judgment time. Did it work or not? If not, you invested time for nothing. Cut through this fear by remembering this. If it didn't work, better to know now before investing more precious time. The hardness trap. I'm just multitasking by doing biceps while doing the video. Your goal might be physically or mentally challenging, but remember this truth. After you achieve your goal, you won't remember how hard it was. You'll only have the results and the new skills. If you never start, you'll forever feel the burden of the unfinished goal and the confusion that comes from lacking skills that only develop through action. Another problem, you don't believe you can do it. If your brain doesn't believe that you can succeed, then it tries to protect you from failure or getting embarrassed or whatever is at stake. So either believe in yourself by manning up, remembering a past success, or reduce the pressure by treating it as an experiment like we talked before. The moving finish line. You don't know when a goal is done. So how can you start a journey without knowing the destination? You don't know whether to go left or right. Define when a specific task is done and do everything to complete it. Otherwise, you treat it like a painting which is never finished because you can always add something on it. Be very specific. For example, learn Spanish is not that helpful because you don't have a specific target. You'll never feel finished. But learn 10 medical terms in Spanish today is. You can continue learning more as a bonus after you finish the task, but otherwise you'll never feel finished. Another problem is if the goal is not in your control. Then don't do it. You cannot do anything about it. Whatever you do, you cannot influence the problem. So don't burn gas on it. Use that gas on what is under your control. You cannot control getting 1 million views on YouTube, but you can control making excellent videos. Just be specific what excellent means. Otherwise, it will forever be an unfinished painting. When you notice yourself overthinking a task, you have only 3 options. Start working on it immediately, delegate it to someone else, or write it down in a system you trust to tackle it later. Anything else leads to what I call task inflation, where the tasks grow bigger in your mind the longer you avoid them. You start thinking that the task requires special preparation, perfect conditions, rituals, cosmic alignment. It doesn't. It's not special. Do it and forget it. Even while working on a goal, you may get tons of ideas, and the anxiety that comes is from the fear of forgetting them. So in this case, open your task manager and write them down to make sure you won't forget them. You can plan and prioritize them at a later time. What are you seeing on the screen is where I plan and achieve my goals. It's an application made by me, and I encourage you to make an account. It's end-to-end encrypted, meaning that it's impossible for me or anybody to see your goals, unlike other task managers where any employee can see them. When you have multiple or complex goals, it's harder to see progress. But seeing progress is critical for motivation. When building a house, you can literally see the progress in your face. But with many goals, you cannot. That's why I implemented all kinds of subtle progress tracking in my application. For tasks, for periods, and more. It takes time and effort to track and calculate the progress you made on each goal, and it can stop you from actually doing the goal. It becomes a reason to procrastinate. And the last thing you need is another reason to procrastinate, even if it's helpful. Now I have a few bonus tricks. The first trick, if you really feel like you want to procrastinate, you can do it on your main goal by working on another goal that you want to do, which is a smart way to procrastinate. But you can only go so far with this because at some point you need to do the main goal. Trick number 2. You can actually start working on your main goal by creating a bigger goal than this, start procrastinating on that one with the goal that you actually want to do. The fact that this works proves that the barrier is psychological and that you blow it out of proportions in your head. So what happens when you implement this system? The pressure and pain of procrastination disappears, not by giving up on your goals, but by breaking them down, prioritizing, and achieving them. Imagine waking up each morning with complete clarity on what you need to work on. Imagine watching your progress bar fill up day by day. Imagine checking off goals that once seemed impossible, one by one, building unstoppable momentum. This isn't about just getting things done. It's about becoming the person who consistently turns ideas into reality. The true enemy of procrastination isn't motivation and discipline. It's action. So don't focus on beating procrastination. Focus on taking action, and procrastination will automatically be taken care of. No need to do anything about it. Sign up to capture your goals now and to start achieving them. Time is still passing. That reality hasn't changed. But now you possess the system to ensure that your progress happens during this passage of time. It might not seem glorious to others, but that feeling of steady progress towards your goals is one of life's most deeply satisfying experiences. And everything we discussed today is useless if you don't set the goals in the first place. Otherwise, you're just achieving random tasks without arriving at a specific destination. So click on the video on the screen to solve this fundamental problem. See you there.